For those that want to know about updates of what's going on, and for me to make a video on updates on what's going on with these circumstances about me getting an apartment, I've made these videos. Look at my other videos in this column in the album area. I applied for DHA apartments. Went there, I posted the application and all that stuff, and went videos on there for people to look at and get updates. It's now been, I think, we're already in May, and I think I applied in, was it January? I think I applied. So it's now almost been about 6 months that I have applied to get these apartments. I have not gotten one email, I have not gotten one phone call, no contact at all. For those that don't know, I have been applying for government apartments, DHA, and I applied for, if you look on that list, it's like 20 or 25 different apartments. And I have been doing this since the age of 35 to 30. Oh yeah, I was about 35. I think I applied a couple times and even before that, but I didn't have disability insurance. But I have been applying for those apartments. DHA, which is a Dallas Housing Authority that applies housing apartments for people on disability or just trying to get the government discount to live in an apartment. And since I was 35, I have never gotten one phone call, I have never gotten any contact, and they told me it's a lottery system. So once every 18 months is up, I have to re-register and reapply. And I kept on doing that from the age of 35 all the way to 42 years old, repeatedly checking the website to see if there's any updates, anyone's contact, nothing at all. So this just gives you an idea. For 7 years, I have been applying for apartments and I'm getting nowhere with it. And if they're hacking into my phone, laptop, and all this stuff that's going on, then what makes you give me the idea that any of this is legitimate? All you have to do is take my name off the list, because you have things so hacked into it, and it's just like every job that I ever had. Every job I ever had, they wouldn't let me work, and they'd fire me right away. I'd work there 2 days, fire me. I'd work there for 1 day, or work there for 3 days. They would attack me viciously, knowing that I was just some bum nearly digging in a trash can for food, and nobody would help me, and they were just preventing me from working, so I would get any kind of money at all. Nobody would help me, so I couldn't help myself. Like, I would do everything to try to help myself, and people were putting more attention to prevent and sabotage me than to try to do anything for me, because I'm doing everything to help myself. They're the ones that are closing the doors and preventing me from doing anything to better my life. So, like I said, I'm making a video update on that I have not heard anything from them. We're right now, it's May 26, Tuesday, 2026. 5/26/2026. I have not heard anything. Do I expect to hear anything? No. I did get a phone call from the apartment in Vermont, for those that already knew, because that was the only place that did give me a call. There was one place in Vermont, and I moved all the way, literally, when I got that phone call, immediately got a phone call. I literally moved from from Las Vegas, living in a almost junkyard of a house, the only place I could find that had shelter, and I get there, and I literally take a flight straight to Vermont to get to my apartment, sign the lease, get settled in. And I made a video on that, why I had to leave and all these other situations, just 2 months before my 1-year lease was up. But I'm doing everything that I can to better my life, to be comfortable, to be situated, to make the best of it, to save money, to really be able to save money, and have very good, healthy nutrition for myself. You can see how well I took care of myself when I lived in my apartment in Vermont. I was constantly, still to this day, I eat so many beans and different kinds of beans. It's a lot of what I only eat to try to maintain life and health, even though I do smoke a lot of cigarettes. And I don't drink or anything. I never drank in my apartment. I don't do any drugs, nothing. You can see how many, I would buy bundles of fruits and make fruit shakes and really healthy nutrition for my body to stay healthy and keep myself alive in the best way possible. but it is very hard. So, like I said, no matter the efforts that I make, this is what somebody's doing to me. There's no doubt in my mind they are determining whether I'm getting an apartment or not. But they told me that the DHA is a lottery system, and it's a computer system. They literally go through this lottery system, and it's random pick. So I could, however many people there are in Dallas, Texas, is how many people, or I don't know if it's just in the state of Texas, but I know it's just in the state of Texas, but in the Dallas Housing Authority, everybody that's registered, which, how many people live in Dallas, Texas that could possibly be registered? That's probably somewhere around probably 3,000 or 4,000 people at least. I don't know what those numbers are. I have no idea. But imagine 2,000 to 3,000 people being in a lottery system thinking that I applied for this and they're going to pick my name out when there's one apartment available, when there's two. And they said that the only time that they make a lottery pick is when there is an apartment available. That's what they told me. When someone moves out of an apartment and it's vacant, that's when they make a lottery picking. So what are the chances of me being picked out like a name tag out of 1,000 people and being picked out and then saying, oh, okay, we're going to call him to contact Steven at his apartment? And it's a so-called lottery computer system that doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm on disability. Many of these people that apply for DHA are not on disability. They have jobs, there's families and stuff like that, but I'm on disability. I can provide the disability paperwork. I have health insurance. I'm on food stamps, and I can provide all that. And I'm still not getting an apartment. So I wouldn't be traveling and I wouldn't be moving like this, but I have no choice. You don't understand that there's not going to be opportunity. It's just much like my mother used to always tell me, like you have to try to seek opportunity, because, if you don't find it one place, you have to go somewhere else because, you can't find it. You're not going to be able to get opportunity. But I'm doing everything I can. I can't tell you how many times I've called DHA and I picked up the phone and I could tell 1,000% these people were not wanting me to get an apartment. They were harassing me. You could tell by the tone of their voice, they were not with good intentions toward me. In fact, on several occasions, they randomly would tell me that they wanted documents sent to them. I don't know what it was. And they gave me a fax number. They gave me a fax number and an address to mail these forms to. And I literally faxed them this paperwork. And I think it was like my benefits letter or something like that. And I also sent them, put it in an envelope, and I put a stamp on it and mailed it to them, just like they requested. I heard no response. And when when I called them over the phone to hear updates, because I would repeatedly call them in my late 30s, I was like 37, 38, every 6 months, 5 months, 3, 4 times a year, I would call them to hear updates, or I would also, on top of that, check on their websites to see if there was anything, updates on the applications of the 20 different apartments. So out of the 20 different apartments that are available that I applied for, each one of them is a lottery pick when one is available. So anyway, the opportunity seems like it's not even available. But like I said, I made a video on this. You can see where I go in person. I went in person to fill out the application with a worker there who was right next to me on the computer system and told me, click on this, this is what you want, this is for families only, this is for seniors only, these are the ones that you can apply for, write your name here, upload your document. And she was there the whole time, so I filled out everything thoroughly like I was supposed to hopefully get an apartment, to make it as more thorough as I can. So I wanted to make this video that I'm doing everything I can, but obviously just take a look about what's going on. I don't think they're going to let me have an apartment, in my opinion. 7 years, not one phone call, no opportunity, no nothing, and I'm getting kicked out, being beaten with electronic devices. I don't see any of this ever changing, but I hope to God and pray to God for the best, for blessings.